Right, troops, we are back. Episode 3 of the Anvil Power Hour. Have I decided a name for this one yet? No, not yet, but I'll figure of something to give it a name for a title. It'll be something Star Wars related. Again, it's going to be Star Wars related until we're at least 6 episodes down, because there's nothing after the first movies. Nothing exists. The new movies don't count. I'll
I
let you have
agree.
Rogue. I'll let you have Rogue One. Rogue One is an okay movie. Outside that, the rest are fucking shit. Right, let's get into it. I'm Craig. That is Chris. Let's get waffling. So, Chris, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
It's been a good week, been a busy week again with
Hmm.
work, with training, and it has been a busy weekend for me, which we
Yes.
will come to in the next section.
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
any big hits in training and stuff like that? And if you want to talk about any wins when it comes to training.
I think I accidentally PB'd my back squat the other day for
Mhm.
reps,
Mhm.
with a misload on the bar, which was quite nice. Yeah, it
That is
wasn't till
not
I,
going feral, which is ironic because we're talking about going feral later on. Accidentally loading is not going feral. But, however, now my clients have heard that. No, you fucking gobshites. That's not an excuse to go, oh, I misloaded the bar and got a new PB. Fuck off.
but in my defense, it wasn't for a 1RM, it was for reps. So I've still
Yeah,
hit my rep range, so that's
yeah.
okay, that's allowed.
I mean, yeah, but PB is a PB. Like,
Yeah,
and this is a big thing, and I talk about this all the time, is you should be PBing every week in some description.
yeah,
Like, this week I got a PB on my incline close grip pause bench, which is a long thing. Um,
nice.
Basically an incline press with a nice close grip. I hit 140 for a couple of singles with a nice long pause.
Good.
So I was over the moon with that. That's been the main progress. Rest of training this week has been okay, but the tax man has come calling, and I am about to pay my pound of flesh to him. So there has been slightly other priorities when it comes to my training this week, which has been making sure I've got that stuff done. And I'm going to say this. This is in a way, the most anti-fitness podcast you're going to listen to, because I'm going to tell you, like, see if you've got bigger shit on your plate, just fucking train less. Like, it's okay to spread 1 week across 2 weeks if you're up to
Hmm.
your eyeballs with demands. Like, don't try and force everything in. Don't try and fucking push everything in, because something's got to suffer. Certain times like this, maybe a deload might be a shout to reduce stress levels. Drop down to 3 training sessions a week. Try like choose which of your training sessions is the least important, and drop that from your programming. Just do something. Do something to actually make sure that you're not having to deal with the stress side of things. Because at the end of the day, like, there's nothing worse when you're highly stressed than a shit training week.
Hmm.
Maybe better getting 2 really good training sessions out the week than try and push out 4 shit ones.
I think the
So
thing that needs
like,
to be said there as well, this is a hobby. It's not the be all and end all, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like, no one's getting paid for it. Like, and
Hmm.
that's the thing. It's not as if your wage dictates on you being in the gym.
Yep.
Like, so you can have those times where you go, I'm just going to take a step back for a week. I'm going to focus on exams, tax, whether there's a wedding, etc., etc., etc. And then once that's out the way and you've got rid of that stressor and your body gets back to normal, and then you can push harder again. Because dropping weight for a week will not make a fucking difference.
Because
It will
training
not
is
change
a
anything.
training is a stress as well. If you've got mental
Yeah.
stress,
Hmm.
you'll get
Hmm.
put more physical stress through your body and something's going to give.
It's one of the stressors. Like, and we have the thing with our bodies is how I always try and explain to clients is your body's a big bucket with a single little hole in the bottom of the bucket. All your stressors are stressors. Your body can't tell the difference between the stress, like between physical stress, mental stress, and emotional stress. It just counts as stress. Imagine your stress is bottles of water. So each time you pour this bottle in, it's going to fill up. Now, you need a certain amount of stress to gauge response. That's our minimum training values. You need to hit certain amounts of exercise each week to gain some kind of response. But then you have MR, you've got maximum training volume and MTV. And if you go above that, you're not going to get as many benefits out of your training,
Hmm.
because you're pushing your body well beyond that stressor. Now, so while you're pouring your water in for your general life stresses, which can be that one. So those generally should keep you slightly floating. Your training then push you into that zone where you'll see some change. But then you're going, right, tax, that's a big stress because I've got to do all the accounting for the accountant. Then there's like family illness, etc., like stress from work, exams, where these things, all these things are getting poured into the bucket as well. Eventually, that bucket starts overflowing. There's still only one hole in the bottom feeding it out. And if you're putting more stress in than your body's able to get it release, then you're eventually going to just burn out. So, in those situations, take the time to actually make sure you're relaxing. In fact, in high stress times, is where you need to be doing your hobbies, wherever your creative outlets are and your hobbies that are to help reduce stress. Now, I know everyone's going to say, oh, but Craig, the gym is one of my hobbies. Yes, but you should have other hobbies. If you only have one hobby, you're fucking boring. You're fucking boring. You should have multiple hobbies. Like I read books, I do Warhammer. You can see the Warhammer stuff in the background. I do stuff like I have a socializing hobby, I have a creative hobby, and I have an educational hobby, and things like this. I'm well balanced outside, and I have my physical hobbies as well. And those well balanced things help. Like sometimes for me, like I might skip a gym session and go swimming instead, just because I like just the gentle pace of just going for a nice swim, just clear my head out with swim,
Hmm.
listening to an audiobook when I swim and stuff like that. Because I've got some underwater headphones, they work really well. Stick them on, and I'll just listen to an audiobook while I swim, and I just focus on me. Whatever you choose to do, make sure your hobby is focusing on you, like, and it's improving your quality of life. If it didn't improve your quality of life and doesn't enhance your quality of life, then it's actually fucking worth it. That's the name of the game. And that when it comes to anything in
Yep.
life, if it doesn't enhance your quality of life, get to the fuck. Whether that's friendships, wherever it is, just get to the fuck. Because if it's not helping you make yourself a better person, it's dragging you down. Positive energy works. So yeah. So all in all, I would put this training week down to, for the fact I only trained twice this week, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Like
That's
I'm
good.
quite happy with it. Like yes, I would have liked to get more sessions in, but I had other more important things to be dealing with, and the car's got to go into the garage tomorrow. That's making me sad because as well as paying the tax man, I think my garage is about to finger me as well.
Yeah, could get right bent over there, definitely.
So yeah, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be an expensive end of the month. Like this is the worst time. Like car can wait to fucking one more week till February once paydays come around. But no, no, it's decided now it needs to go in,
Yeah.
and I daren't fucking take it too far until I've got it checked out and stuff like that. All right, Chris. So you're up to something interesting this weekend, and it probably had something to do with our next topic, the strongman section. So, what are you doing?
So from Friday up to probably 8 p.m. last night, I was helping with Natural Scotland's Strongest Man and Woman through at Wishaw Sports Centre.
Yes, so that's been a fun and interesting day. So, all in all, so far, what I've heard about it's actually been really good fucking comp. People have really enjoyed it and stuff like that. So, but what we're going to talk about today is the inside scoop, like from the man on the ground, our reporter, Chris
Yep.
Crawford.
No, it was a great day yesterday. Everything ran very smoothly. I think the biggest thing about yesterday was that Natural Strongman, or formerly known as UKNS, has only been on the go for a few years, and to see Scotland's especially progressing from gyms into a venue like Wishaw Sports Centre yesterday was fantastic.
Yeah.
The way that it's come on has been amazing, and Stephen Wiley, Matty Costello, and Martin Lennox has done a great job running this. I think it's been brilliant. I think that's one of the best comps that's been run so far.
Yeah, so I would agree with that. Like seeing how quickly it's growing, it's I would say it's now bigger than Scotland's Strongest Man for weight categories, especially
Yep.
the ladies.
Yep. The
Fucking
ladies'
wipes the floor.
categories were stacked yesterday. I've
Yeah,
never seen so many opens women in a category.
yeah,
Even right down to the 57s. The 57 still had maybe six athletes in it.
yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
I feel this is going to trigger some people, but fuck it. I feel that nowadays, when you think it's harder to see why women would go to the official SSM, SSW stuff over the Natties, where I think the Natties actually provides them a bit, like to an extent, a better service. And I know why.
Hmm.
Like it's honestly, it's why. It's because they market better.
They do, and I think the format for yesterday was a lot better as well. This new format for Natural Strongman's fantastic.
Okay, talk
So
to me about it.
you have your weight classes, right?
Hmm.
But each weight class can choose what weights they do for deadlift, for
Yeah.
overhead, for sandballs, for Husafel. So it almost makes it a competition within a competition. You know what I mean? You have the weight classes
Mhm.
battling out, but you also have a leaderboard for best female and best male as well.
Okay, right. So I see where you're coming from. But
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
aye, so somebody could choose the heavy option for the deadlift and for the overhead and
Uh-huh.
treat it as like a 1RM event. They could take that top option, which is
Yeah.
what maybe the opens weight athletes could be repping out, for example, if you're in
Uh-huh.
a lighter weight class. And I think seeing that worked really, really well yesterday, and it
Cool.
made for
So
some interesting battles.
how did so for people here, because there'll be people who are watching this who've never been to a strongman competition or strongwoman competition before. Part of this is the educational side of things. So talk me through how this works. So talk me through how the competition works. So how did the point system work for each event, etc.
So you have, so for the deadlift and overhead, you had four different weight options, right?
Mm.
So if you took the heaviest option, so just off the top of my head, the men's deadlift, the heavy option for that was 300 kilos, right?
Yes.
You had a bar set up behind that, the which was the second heaviest weight,
Mhm.
270. So if you walked up to the 300 kilos, tried to pull it and failed, you had a backup bar to jump back to get some reps
Okay.
in.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. Now it worked so, so well. And you could see there was some gameplay and you could see people
Uh,
had put down heavy options, knowing they weren't going to get it, just so it would put them out last. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
there
Or
was
to
some people
force other people to
exactly,
push heavier weights that they may
exactly.
not be able to
Yeah.
hit.
And it worked so, so well yesterday.
Mm.
Very, very well. Now, one rep at a heavier weight beats any reps at a lighter weight. And that's
Okay,
how the
cool.
point system worked for that.
Mhm.
And that worked for the axle overhead was like that. The deadlift was like that. The Husafel bags were like that. Both men and women's categories had an option of two weights to choose from for the
Yeah.
Husafel carry for max distance. And then the sandball over yoke, they had three options to choose from
Mhm.
for that as well.
Cool. So as you said there, heaviest one wins. So as long as you
Hev
get one rep at the heavier one,
yeah,
it's going to beat out everything else. But
exactly right.
now, that being said, people will be like, well, why don't they just try and get one rep at the heaviest? Cool. Yeah, what happens if someone else gets one rep at the heaviest? Then it's down to the second bar where you have to
Hmm.
chase out those extra reps. So a lot of people may just listen to that and go, well, I just need a couple of reps of the heavy one. Yes, but if someone else matches you at the heavy weight, then it's down to the second bar. So it's not as if the second bar didn't play a
No,
part in it.
no, it didn't. I'm going to stop you there. If you
Okay,
pulled on
right.
the heavy bar, you couldn't jump back to the lighter bar. If you got one
Okay,
rep at that
interesting.
heavy bar, you couldn't go back to the lighter bar.
Okay.
But but if you pulled the
Hmm.
lighter bar with ease, you could jump to the heavier bar. But you
Okay,
couldn't go
interesting.
you couldn't go backwards.
Hmm. Interesting. See, that's not, I would have done it my way. And the reason, I'll explain why. This is, again, this is just like now with benefit of hindsight, is you get two people just join first on, say, three reps of 300 kilos.
Hmm.
If then they could easily count out the second bar, get the
Hmm.
reps done in the second bar. And that gives you an idea of who's actually first because you then have a second number to work with.
Yeah.
So say they pro three reps on the first bar, and then they pull maybe four reps on the second bar, while their opponent pulls three and three.
Hmm.
Cool. You have a very clear winner there because someone else has pulled an extra rep
Hmm.
on on that bar. But that's just how I would do it. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's still a cool, like how they've done is a cool idea. That the ability to have a backup there
Yeah.
is pretty cool because it saves that kind of like fuck I missed it and then just walking away being pissed off. You
Yeah.
still have a
Exactly
chance
right.
to actually get some reps, which is good. So
Exactly. Now,
still,
one event I've not spoke about yet was the Farmer's Walk. The Farmer's
yeah,
Walk
the
was
farmer's
really
ladder.
cool. Yes, that was good. So that had a starting weight. You
Mhm.
went 10 meters. You then loaded 5 kilo plates onto both sets of
Is it
farmers.
self-load or
Self-load,
self-load?
self-load. You then do another 10 meters, load the farmers again,
Mhm.
do another 10 meters and load them again. So you were doing four sets of 10
Yeah.
meters,
So
which
40
was
meters in total with a 40 kilo increase.
exactly, which
Mhm.
was really good because you could see some of the lighter weight classes pushing that top end weight as well. Like they were
Yeah.
loading the farmers and actually finishing it, which was quite good to see.
Uh,
I think that made it again, it made it a level playing field. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, yes, it was split into weight categories, but yesterday it was also just split into men and women overall as well.
yeah.
And
So, and how did they point it in regards to best male and female? Because this is quite interesting. Because this isn't something you tend to hear about in strongman. This tends to be a bit more a powerlifting thing. So it's
mhm.
pretty cool that it's now coming into strongman. So how did they point it in regards to overall male and female?
I think it was done on like obviously the heavier options who had got the
Cool.
most reps and
Mm.
accumulated the
So,
most points like that. So what had happened, so if I remember right, I was loading kit at this point for the women's categories.
yeah.
Um, you had Andrea Gaffney had she won best female. She won the opens category, won best
Mhm.
female. And I think Roslyn in the opens and Hannah in the under 82s had came joint
Yeah.
in third place, but it went back to count back. And
Uh-huh.
Hannah, the 82, had taken the third spot for
Uh-huh.
overall for best female. So it was quite interesting. It was,
So it sounds like you essentially the competition within the competition thing is where they
yeah.
go, right, here's everyone who's like, here's all the first placers.
Mhm.
First place number one and has done 4 reps
Yep.
at their heaviest weight.
Hmm.
First place number two, which might be in the under 57s, has done 3 reps
Hmm.
in it. Best female under 63 might come third with 2 reps.
Yep.
So like, and that's how they is that how do you think that's how they
Yeah,
pointed
yeah,
it up and
yeah.
stuff like
I
that?
think that's how it was done.
Yeah, which is cool. That's definitely a more interesting way of doing it.
Hmm.
And it does definitely level the playing field for when it comes out from that aspect of like you're not dealing with just working on like body weight, etc.,
Hmm.
etc. You've actually got some kind of metric to use to count and track it, which is nice to see. So that's
Yeah.
pretty fucking cool.
And it was nice to watch yesterday as well. Like you could look at some of the athletes who had treated the static events as
Hmm.
like a 1RM comp, who had prepped for pulling and pushing
Yeah,
a heavy single. And you could see the people that wanted to just stay in their lane and knew they could rep a way out. And
yeah, mhm,
it was good. It
yeah,
was very, very good the way it was run. I think that format's brilliant.
yeah,
And I
and
think it'll
especially when. So
sorry,
please
I was just going
continue.
to say it like next weekend's Ireland's and Wales, and then the weekend after's England. England have
Mhm.
350 athletes over 2 days. And I think it's going to be amazing watching it there.
That is a fucking huge number. And this is the bit I want to talk about in a little bit, but I think this is something that needs to be seen. Like these athlete numbers that are coming out of the natty categories now
Hmm.
are vastly fucking outstripping the some of the
Official strongman.
official, yeah, official strongman numbers, especially when it comes to ladies.
Hmm.
Ladies, like it's just night and day.
The
Like
ladies category for England is stacked. I had a flick
uh,
through the Instagram page and had a look, and like I'm pretty sure the under 82 kilo category at England has two different slides on Instagram because there's that many athletes doing it.
yeah, but that's fucking awesome. Like, it's
That's what you
awesome to
want
see
to
this
see.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you want to see. Like, this is it. Like, don't get me wrong, fucking so like, I'm not going to enjoy being like, wouldn't enjoy being the referee, or it's definitely not the fucking handling crew on that one. You're gonna need fucking 4 handling crews minimum to get through those.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
going to be me because I'm going down for that. So
I trained you too well. I
I
trained you
know.
too well. That's my
That's
problem.
it. That's it.
Beanie. But yeah, no, so you're right. Like that's pretty fucking awesome. Like when you come from that aspect, like it's just seeing it grow and
The growth
there,
of this federation's has been scary even over the last
yes,
2 years.
I know, but I think like honestly, that's just down to, and I'll put this down like I'll take my hat off to Stephen and who's the Irish guy again? I can't remember.
Matty.
Guy. What they're both extremely good at is marketing it. They
Hmm.
market the fucking shit out of this competition. It's not just like I'm going to use this as an example and probably get some backlash. I really don't care because Stephen and I with the Natties versus the officials, Scotland Strongest Women.
Hmm.
That's got piss poor numbers this year. It's not being around the bush. The numbers are low. Like I've been speaking to people who are unhappy with the number of people. Some people are actually just thinking, considering just not bothering turning up even though they signed up because there's so few numbers, because it's
Hmm.
pointless. You look at OSG, you look at the Natties, they're always constantly busy. Why? Because they actually market, and marketing is not just resharing a post story once in a blue moon.
Hmm.
Like I have seen like near weekly posts from Natural Strongest Man promoting their business. And that's like brand new posts every week, bring up clips of previous ones, constantly firing stuff out. The
Hmm.
marketing side of them, just like OSG, far outstrips the officials when it comes to Scotland. Because I think the problem with officials to an extent is we've got to the stage where we think that the name will carry the competition.
Hmm.
That was fine when there was the only competition going about, but there's now avenues and options available to you.
I think the thing that helps Natural Strongman as well is Cerberus are the title sponsor, and Cerberus send a representative to almost every comp, and they're there filming stuff, publishing stuff, pushing
I know,
stuff on social media as well, which is helping the natural scene as well.
but at the officials Cerberus is there. They're
Of
almost
course,
always
yeah,
so.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, they're always there as a sponsor.
Yeah.
But what I think's the difference is like live streaming.
Hmm.
I think that's a game changer.
Strong paths are
Honestly,
incredible. So it's
honestly, I think it's a game changer now. Like,
yeah.
that's your problem. Like, I was speaking to one athlete who's potentially competing at the officials, and they were like, "Well, I I'm jealous that they get a live stream competition and we don't." And that fucking needs to change. Like officials, I think, need to be pulled into the 21st century because it's
Hmm.
falling behind. Like where, and it's just its marketing's poor
Yeah.
and its ability to outreach is poor. Because every single one of those ladies that competed, potentially competing at the officials and
Hmm.
doing just as well. Because where a lot of those women will go straight after this? OSGs.
Yeah.
A lot of them will be prepping to try and qualify for OSGs. So
Hmm.
if they can try and go and qualify for OSGs, they can do the official Scotland Strongest Women stuff. But the issue you have there is they're just, some of them probably don't even know it exists. They think that that's their only option.
Yeah. And another thing as well is that like officials have got quite a stacked calendar, right? You have your regional qualifier, your regional championships, so Scotland's strongest women, man,
Hmm.
whatever. You win that, you then qualify for Brits, you then qualify for Europe's as well. You do well there, you get your World's qualification. Now, naturals are doing the same,
Yeah,
but
but
10
this is
times
the thing.
bigger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's naturals now added a Europe's strongest man this year.
Yeah.
You've then got worlds as well. You've then got
Mhm.
champion of champions, but you pull all the category winners and put them against each other as
Yeah.
well.
I know, and I think that's it. Like I think there's just there, like, but again, that's all marketing.
Hmm.
Marketing has allowed them to create that.
Yep.
The drive is there. It's just whether or not people want to capitalize on it and do the
Hmm.
hard work in marketing. Because don't get me wrong, I understand marketing's fucking difficult, but it needs to be done. And if you're not doing it, you're falling behind. And I think right now that's what we're seeing when it comes to the officials, especially in Scotland. It's just falling behind because you look at the natty stuff, and it's just better publicized.
Yeah. Now I'm taking the opens men out of this equation for
Yes,
officials because
because they
that's
will
marketed.
always.
Yeah, that brings in a crowd. That's marketed well. It's purely weight classes here. I
Yes,
think it needs
yes,
to get slightly
and
better.
to an extent, is it even? I would even to an extent disagree with that because even the men's weight categories are always pretty well stacked,
Hmm.
and a lot of the guys who'll be competing at the Natties yesterday will be at the SSM officials.
100%, 100%.
You'll see,
There's a lot of guys that do cross
yeah,
over.
yeah, but you don't see that with the ladies, and that the question is why?
Hmm.
Why don't you see it with the ladies? And I think whoever can crack that, I do think it's the marketing side of things, is got like when that's cracked. I hope to see the ladies get the same kind of response sometimes as the guys get because like a rising tide, like a rising tide help like floats all boats or whatever it is. I can't even remember off the top of my head the exact term, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
like one increasing helps everything, and at the end of the day, we should be working it together as a team. Like because the strongman community is still small in comparison to other communities, so the actual ability to try and help everyone push
yeah,
the standard up
yeah.
is something you need to do. And I think that, but you've had a good weekend.
It's been a great weekend.
Yeah. Is there?
I think you probably hear from my voice. It's a little bit croaky
Yeah.
today from yesterday.
Yeah. So anything, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. And when Steven sees this, he'll message you and say mean things to you. It'll be funny. Um, anything you felt that they could have done better?
Honestly, no. There
No.
was a slight mess up. Sorry, mess up's not even the wrong term. There was a slight issue with some of the sheets yesterday, having
Uh-huh.
spoken to Kat yesterday because she was doing a lot of the running on the whistle and that.
Yeah.
But from a crew perspective, we got in like we had everything set up how we
Yeah,
wanted
you're they're
it.
pretty much grafting for 4 or 5 hours on the night
Yeah,
before, weren't you?
aye. Yeah. So it was me and Jamie Kleiman that ran the crew.
Yeah.
We had a chat before what we wanted. We briefed the crew, and everybody done everything that was needed to be done.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of experienced guys helping us yesterday. I mean, we had Jamie Kleiman, we had Beefy, Chris Beetham came and
Yeah.
helped. We had Andrew Goodlad. We had a lot of big named Scottish strongmen helping us, guys that have ran
Giving
comps.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and being involved in big comps ourselves. So
Mhm.
it was nice to have them in the crew as well
Yeah,
and
definitely.
get their idea on things.
Yeah, this is something that athletes use need to understand. So, this I'm talking to you directly, athletes right now is give the fucking crews a bit of respect because see if you don't, you're a fucking dick. And I'll explain why. The crews are there the night before, the day before, especially in stadium events like this. They're there the night before, 5, 6, 7 hours, fucking building the place out. They're then away, they're then sleeping. They're then there before you doing last minute checks. They then left twice as much, 3, 4 times as much as you do in a day, and moving everything back and forth. And then they're there at the end where they have to strip the entire fucker down and get the place sorted out, ready for handover back
Mhm.
to the organizers. So in that case, they do a lot more than you. So please always fucking shake the hands of the fucking support crew because they were fucking doing fuckloads for you. Like these competitions don't exist without the fucking support staff. And you should always go out your way to thank them. Like as a comp organizer, I couldn't give a fuck if people shook my hand and all. I'd be annoyed if they didn't shake the hands of my fucking spotters, loaders, and table crew because they're the ones who are actually there working hard to fucking make it work. Because
Mhm.
without them, this wouldn't happen.
And
Referees, spotters, loaders, tables crew, support staff, they're the ones that you need to actually make this run.
I think just to go for the back of that as well, the benefit of having current athletes, ex-athletes, whatever, is that we know how we want a comp to be ran for ourselves, how smoothly we want it to go. So we want to give that back to the athletes. We don't want anything to go wrong. We want people to have all the warm-up kit they need, to be called out when they're ready, for everything to be set in place for them, just so they can just do the event and that's all they need to think about. And that was exactly how it ran yesterday, and it was perfect. Absolutely
Good. Yeah,
perfect.
awesome. So a 10 out of 10 comp, you'd say.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. That's the best one that I've probably been
Been
at,
to.
or
Cool.
aye.
And the beautiful thing about this is they only improve.
Hmm.
Like each time you can
Yep,
quite like I could quietly say from an outside perspective as I look in on the natty stuff, each competition has improved.
yep. I
Like
mean, last year that was held in a adapt gym. That's
uh
Will Brady's gym in Leith. I mean,
yeah.
it's a lovely gym, well equipped. It's a tiny space though.
Hmm.
Um, Years before that, it's been at GBA or in Hostile,
Yeah.
and now it's actually in a big venue like this.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they're making the money to do that because venues aren't fucking cheap,
No.
especially not for strongman because
Hmm.
they tend to charge more because of the risk of fucking damage. which is perfectly valid when things get fucking dropped and damage
Yeah,
happens. It's fucking expensive to fix up venues when
which
things go
is
wrong.
which is why we were in the night before building the floor,
Yeah,
which was
exactly.
triple layered applied and horse matting.
Mhm. Exactly, yeah. So, but that's it. But it's needed. Like you got to accept the fact. But the beautiful thing is that the triple ply plus the horse matting means you've got very solid surface
Yep,
undo.
definitely.
Like it's completely solid. Like it's not going anywhere, and there's very little damage because
Hmm.
from the time when I ran Anvil, when I built those deadlift platforms, they were getting abused 12 hours a day, like
Hmm.
6 days, like essentially 7 days a week, and they only needed swapped out once.
That's good.
And that was just because we built them correctly. And by like, if you have a good solid floor, it makes a world of
Hmm.
a difference. The horse matting, though, is just next generation. Like, horse matting is the best flooring for strong. Like, if I ever get studio back up and running again, it's just gonna have a horse matting floor because it's better
Yeah.
than anything else. It can stand the load. It fucking stands the load well. Cool. So, no, I'm glad to hear that. I've mainly left you to talking because you were there and stuff like that. So, last question on this topic, and then we're going to move on. Is there anything you'd like to see at the next event? And then I'm going to specifically cut this and send this to Stephen and go, here. I'm
Do you know?
not. That's too much work.
Um, no, no, I
No.
wouldn't. Nah.
No. Fuck me,
The,
you're
the,
sucking up his arse.
and it's not even that. It was like so. Another thing as well is that Natural Strongman now has affiliated gyms, right? So
Yes.
in Scotland, you've got Edinburgh Strength and you've got CYG, which is Stevie Conacher's gym through Mushaw.
Yeah.
So he was there with a squad of his guys. ESC had a squad of their guys. We had other people that we had messaged in. There was plenty crew, so
Yeah.
everything was just it was just
Yeah.
ran well. People could get breaks. Nobody was being ran into the ground. And yeah, it just ran well. And I
Mhm.
think what Stephen, Matty, and Martin is doing for natural athletes is fantastic, and it's only going to keep getting better and better. And it is going to start knocking on OSG's door and start overtaking them potentially, and start pushing them as well. I think.
Interesting. Interesting. I think it's in for a fight on that one. Do I think it could do it? Quite possibly.
Hmm.
Is it in for a fight? I think so because OSG. I think's where Natties wants to be,
Hmm.
but at the
Which I
same
can,
time, though,
but I can see it getting there though, Craig. Like,
uh,
I mean, last weekend was Natural America's strongest man and women, right?
yeah,
There's now qualifiers in Central and Northern Europe for Worlds as well. You've got a Europe strongest man. It is getting there. You've got, I'm sure there's a natural competition that's part of Natural Strongman that's happening in Australia as well. Yeah, it
yeah. So
is
it's growing.
spreading.
Yeah.
It's spreading
Uh,
across the globe now, which is
and just
great
to
to
think
see.
that came from this is and for those that don't know, this is the dream child of Stephen Wiley, isn't it? Like
Hmm.
it's his baby.
Hmm.
Like he was the one who kind of founded it through the UKNS. That was
Hmm.
the kind of initiation of it, and
Yeah.
this has grown like it's grown from that. And you can't even fault his fucking work ethic. You can't even fault like the result that he's getting. Let's just hope that if he ever does, if he ever does payouts, that they actually go to the athletes rather than what happened in the last several SGs.
But they
Because
do though. But they do though. Again, this is a thing that's not been touched on. There has been prize money for athletes.
yeah.
At Champion of Champion, there was prize money. At
Uh-huh.
Worlds, there was prize money, which is great. Like that's what you want to see is people getting something like that
Exactly.
back.
And then when people are like, oh, but why are we charging to view? That's why you're charging to view.
Hmm.
Like this
Spectator
isn't yeah,
tickets,
yeah.
um,
This isn't a
spectator tickets,
back
your
alley job.
membership fee, everything like
Mhm.
that. That's what goes towards being able to make these venues happen, these style of comps run, and get athletes paid.
Yeah, because I want people to put like I want to put people into perspective because I have run competitions. A lot of people like, oh, make loads of money. You don't. See, by the time you paid out for new kit that you need,
Hmm.
Potentially, you've paid out for t-shirts and trophies. And I'm not talking about the shitty trophies, like getting proper decent trophies.
Hmm.
They're not fucking cheap. Like getting t-shirts in, they're not like
Yep.
the expenses stack up. You then have to like haul like okay, I've ran mine's were around out the gym, so it's different. But then venue, like I've had to rent venues for military events when I was in the army, when I was there, when I was in the corporal's mess. That's easily a couple of grand,
Hmm.
easily a couple of grand there straight away. Like it all packs up.
Yep.
And then you've got to then provide support for the athlete, not just the athletes, but the crew and the staff need things in place like feeding, watering, supplies there to make sure they need them. And yeah, sometimes they can be um bring them along their own stuff, but yeah, but you won't have some stuff there because just guys, these people are volunteering.
Hmm.
They're not being paid for it. They're taking time out of their own days to come along and support things, taking days off work to come along and support them. Like there's so much money that goes in behind competitions
Yeah.
that people don't see. And you're like, okay, kit, okay, there was what 30, 40 sand-based implements there.
Oh, hold on, I could do a quick calculation.
Yeah.
It was 5, 20. Oh, more than that. Easy, easy more than that probably. There was
Okay,
there was a
right. So
lot. There was a lot.
so what most people won't take into consideration is the 5, 6 ton of sand that's needed to fill all that shit up.
We had 2 pallets of it on Friday,
Yeah.
filling
Yeah, so
sandballs.
yeah, so that 2 pallets is 2 tons worth of sand.
Hmm.
That's not fucking cheap.
No,
It's
not at
not
all.
cheap in the slightest. And shit like that. That's the things that people don't take into consideration, like little things like that. So you've got all the kit. What happens if a bit of kit gets damaged and needs to be replaced, etc., etc. And then you've got to have contingencies in place if you do cause damage to the venue in its place, like damage the venue. You're the one who has to pay. The federation is the one that pays for it. So like these things, a lot of these things come in, and you have to think about these things when it comes to this sort of stuff. So
Yeah, I think
don't
with
assume that competitions make lots of money. They don't. They don't
mhm.
turn over a lot in the end by the time that they've had to pay out what they need to pay out and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just the final thing I'll say about yesterday was that for some reason me and Beefy got let loose on the live stream for the last event.
Hmm.
So we were on the commentary for the last event, and seeing people compete yesterday at a national level that I've spotted, loaded for, or ref at the comps that you used to run, and seeing that progression it was really nice to see. Yes, there was a few familiar faces coming out, like,
Yeah,
oh, I refed him 3 years ago at Anvil, or oh, I was spotting them 3 years ago at Anvil. To seeing where they are now, it was really nice to see. Really nice
yeah.
to see.
That's where the sort of low level competitions are needed because it's that avenue
Hmm.
for growth and stuff like that.
And
So
you've got the Scottish Strong Women League, which is pushing that for the women in Scotland right now as well.
mhm.
Again, you hosted that one
Yes,
year.
did
You had one
we?
of the events. Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did. Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
what they're
right.
doing
Yeah,
for the
that one was amusing, like because the standard preparation that I expected didn't go ahead, and then we walked into it in the morning going, "What the fuck has happened here?" And
yeah,
Yaguelo was like, "Oh," and I was like, "I'm like, "Ah, we'll get this sorted," and then me and the crew got dug in and stuff like that when all that shit should have been done the day before, but some
yeah.
lazy fucker just didn't do it. It's my, by the way, before I continue to say, it was my one day off a week, so there's another lazy fucker which caused that problem.
But again, you've got this Scottish Strong Women League that has that pathway for the ladies into
Yes.
national level as well. And the winner of the Scottish Strong Women League was there competing yesterday, so it was nice to see that progression, and you can see the ladies from that filtering into natural strongman.
Yeah.
So
Natural
yeah,
strong women. Natural
sorry,
strong women.
natural strong women, not natural strong man. Sorry, sorry.
Okay, it's an easy mistake to make. It's an easy mistake to
Yeah,
make. So I think we'll close a chapter on this one because we have
yeah,
waffled on this one for a fair amount of time. But I think it's a good one because as listeners will, it's interesting. It's something I'd like to know. So we'll be moving on to the next topic now. Let's go. Right, troops. Last topic today, the coaching corner part. And for the coaching corner, we are going to be talking about something that fucking grips my shit. It's called going feral. I have coined this term because you're all a bunch of fucking animals. So what going feral means is basically you ever run on ever gone through your training program and fucking just got pull a 1 rep max. That's going feral. Going off plan without fucking having no consideration to why you're doing it. And I'll explain why it's a terrible idea. So just from an aspect of it, there's three reasons people do it, in my opinion. Reason number one is they have ego issues that they need to be stroked. And I mean, and like, get lots of people like, oh, I'm just gonna pull it to make sure it's still there. You need your ego stroked.
Hmm.
Do you need your ego stroked in social media because you haven't pulled something heavy in 2 weeks? Or what's the reason? There's an ego problem that you need your ego stroked. Option number two, bad influences.
I am the
Fucking
bad
bad
influence. I am the
influences.
bad influence.
I'm the problem. At least Chris can openly admit he's the
Yeah.
problem in this situation. But yeah, there are sometimes oh, just go fucking pull it. You can do it. You can do it. And peer pressure is difficult, especially when you're full of the mojo for wanting to pull heavy. And option number three, and this is actually I think the main problem is your programming right now is not testing your strength. You do not feel strong. Because you do not feel strong, you do not act, you go and pull those 1 rep maxes because you want to feel that strength. And the reason why you don't feel strong is because you're not testing yourself to your full limit in your phase of training. Now, 1 rep maxing, off-plan 1 rep maxing tends to happen most in one of two stages, around the tail end of the volume phase or halfway through the strength phase.
Hmm.
The reason for that is it's when you either are like, I don't feel strong, or I feel like I'm potentially like I feel strong and I want to see it. So the ego gets tickled in the second one, and your um your sort of need to feel strong is tickled in the former. And this is where the problem lies in it. So how can we fix this? Because this is the problem, but let's talk about how we can fix it, because that's what you're here to listen to. I am going to fix this problem with one sentence. Stick, push your fucking volume numbers. Now, what we need to do is take away, do you want to 1 rep max or do you feel like you're not PBing? Is that the problem? And here's the difference. Like 1 rep max is fine. But Chris, as he just said earlier on in this post, and I said myself, we both PB'd this week.
Hmm.
I hit a 140 incline close grip press. Chris got a new PB on his squat. So we know we're strong because our numbers are increasing every week. How are we doing that? Do not like is it an extra rep? Is it extra weight? Is it an extra set? All of these things are PBs, and you just need to get this into your head, right? That these are the things you need to fucking track. This is why you need to track stuff. So you can look back and stuff and see the difference between where you are now and where you were then. So if you're like, right, for me, one, I'm going to talk about my lift this week just because it's directed to me and I easily understand it. So the last time I attempted anything like this was back in July when before my bicep tear, and I worked up to 130 for a couple of doubles, pause reps, and then went away. I then injured my bicep. I've been out for a bit. I've been coming back. Now, tracking it since coming back, I've been making sure that each week I hit some kind of PB on something. Always something gets PB'd in my training plan. When it comes to my clients' programming, I always try to make sure that they're PBing something in some way, shape, or form every single week. Possibly multiple PBs as well. Whether that's an increase in weight on their 5 sets of 6. So a prime one in this situation is RDLs. So for Chris and his one of his previous blocks, we pushed RDLs. It was 2 sets of 8 with back offs
Hmm.
afterwards. And each week we push those weights up. So Each week he did that. It was a PB.
Hmm.
You were getting stronger. And
Yep.
you're getting stronger. How do you know you're getting stronger? Because each week you're putting more weight on the bar and moving it. Strength doesn't just have to be a one rep max. And this is what people need to get into your head. Like strength is one. In fact, I actually think that one rep maxing is the worst form of strength. Um, Strength proof that there can be because there's so many things that can go wrong with it. We'll see 3, 4, 5 reps. See if you're progressing those, you're getting stronger. See when you can do your one rep max for 3 reps, you're fucking stronger.
Hmm.
Like see what you can do for 2, 3 reps. I know you're stronger. You don't need to know what your top number is. I can just tell you right now, if some from 140 for a single a very long time ago on an incline press that's now swapped into a double at 140 on a pause. That is me getting stronger. I don't need to test my one rep max. I know I'm getting stronger. And this is the thing, like start looking at things that aren't just trying to pull heavy singles. See if you track numbers, you'll start to see PBs coming every week. Like I think on average, my client base gets at least 20 to 40 PBs a week across everyone because I track their numbers and I know when things were getting into PB territories. And my clients track their numbers as well. And this is the thing, like, see if you're not tracking numbers, you're leaving a massive fucking piece on the table that you're missing. What you should be doing at this point is tracking the numbers so you know when it is. So and I have a so myself, and I'm going to maybe introduce this to some of my clients, is I have a wee PB book. Right, so anytime I do something that's a PB, I write it on my book. And then I keep X number of exercises that I'm there tracking and like right cool. And then because they're frequent ones, they're frequent flyers in my training program, I'll come back to them and go, right, last block I might have done 2 doubles at 130. Okay, cool. This block I want to try for 2 sets of 4 at 130. Congratulations. That's a PB. That's you getting stronger. Like we need to stop looking at being stronger as just the max number of weight you put on a bar and start looking at all the other ways that you can actually test and track to get stronger and stuff like that. So,
But
Chris,
again,
what's your thoughts on this?
yeah, no, I was just going to say, but again, like I think you've hit the nail on the head there. If you're adding reps or adding weight to sets of reps, that is you PBing. But the same goes when it comes to strongman moving events as well. Yoke farmers, if you're getting quicker at your runs, that's still PBing. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be loading a bar up and trying to pull a heavy 1RM. I
Yeah.
mean, think back to what was it, 2024 when I pulled that 300 kilo deadlift when I went
Yes.
feral. It was the
Yeah.
slowest
Mhm.
rep in fucking history
Just
because
yeah.
we hadn't been working towards that.
Yeah,
It
because we
was
hadn't
lit
prepped the central nervous system.
No, exactly. I'd literally come a week off of Scotland's strongest man under 105.
Yeah.
Thought, fuck it,
And
I'm
I was
going to
like, have a deload week, rest and recover.
yeah, literally 4 days after comp, I chucked the suit back on, loaded the bar to
Yeah.
300, and
Yeah.
it was the
And
slowest
fucking
rep.
good.
By the way, you can go into the Team Anvil Instagram page and look at that because
Yeah.
the
Granted, that's fucking ages ago,
the
but they
editing of
posted
that video was
somewhere.
incredible. Maybe you
That
need
was
to
well.
reshare that again at
I
some
think
point.
I need to see if I still have it, but that's definitely something that could be reshared. That was funny. Like, and this is the thing, like, as a coach, yes, it pees me, but it's not something I'm going to lose too much sleep over. I will literally just turn it into a funny post and then go from there. So don't like I expect my clients to do it to an extent because they they get ahead of themselves and then go a little bit wild. It happens, but you really want to be avoiding it to happen. And the bit that I just mentioned there is to truly one rep max, you need to prep your central nervous system. And prepping your central nervous system for heavy singles and heavy doubles requires your peaking phase, aka going through your triples and your doubles and your singles in preparation for the testing phase. To then go like your body will have adapted to a different kind of central nervous system exposure when you're doing volume or strength based stuff, and then so to then try and to try and put your body on a different style of central nervous system exposure is you're gonna leave you're leaving weight on the table. You're missing what potentially your true one rep max be because
Yeah.
you haven't prepped your body for it. Just because you feel like you're good to go doesn't mean you're actually good to go.
Again,
So
we
like
take it
having
back to that
that's
rep that I pulled. Like
yeah,
we had been prepping for a 270 for reps
yes, exactly.
because that was the weight at the
Mhm,
comp.
mhm.
And then as soon as I chucked the suit back on and started getting heavier in 270, I was like, nah, my body's not ready for this. And I knew it as soon as I broke the floor with the 300. Because if we had prepped for that, that would have been a clean, smooth, quick rep. And that
Yeah,
wasn't a true 1RM. That
no,
was a fatigued, feral rep that
yeah,
shouldn't have
a
happened.
post
Yeah.
comp feral rep, which and I get tends to be one of the best times you see people do things because they're like, oh, what if?
Hmm.
What if? It didn't fucking happen on the day, so just fucking stop. You don't need to know what if. It'll happen. If it's meant to happen, it happens. Just fucking stick to it. Or go, coach, I would like a testing phase to see where my fucking strength is, and then we can prep them. But again,
Yep.
this is where an off season comes in. So especially when it comes to strongman comps, you might only be seeing a lot of 4 reps events. So in your off season, yeah, when your off seasons, go try pull a heavy single, but fucking plan it. Don't just fucking do it off the cuff because it's a fucking pain in the arse. And while the coach will be like, oh, in our heads we're like, oh fucking, if I could, I'd reach down my fucking phone and strangle you fuckers. And then if it's with me, inevitably I'm going to take my time to turn it into a fucking meme and stick it up on my social media page.
That honestly, that one for me was the best one you've ever
That one
done.
and that one and Cat's one was quite good as well
Yeah, aye, that
because
was good as well.
she pulled 2 BVs on the same day, so I had to rip the bit from Fresh and Fit away, smashing the glass on the ground going
And
again.
yeah, but this brings back to the start of this topic. That was me being a bad influence. That was me and Jamie
Yeah,
Young being bad influences. Stood in the gym going, just put the suit on in PB.
yeah, but they're like PBs are important and stuff like that, but be prepared for them. Be prepared. That's all I'm saying is just prep and be ready for them. Like to maximize the amount of results you're getting out of it. So with one of my clients, we just wrapped up today um one max push phase for her. So she's an under 63 kilo power lifter. She went from 175, so 107.5 kilo squat PB to 125 kilo squat PB. So she's added 17.5 kilos onto her squat. And that's because we prepped her for it. See if she'd just gone a little bit feral and done it, I think she'd have capped at 150. But because she's actually prepped for, her nervous system has prepped for it, she hit 125. 16
Brilliant.
year old girl hitting 125 kilos under 63 kilo body weight to powerlifting standards.
It's
That
just
was
under double
achieved.
body weight as
Yeah,
well, which is
yeah,
pretty frightening.
yeah. That was all achieved by proper prepping of her body. And she missed her 127.5, which is fine because she didn't have a spotter. I think if she had a spotter, she'd have probably got it. But then we taken the fact that her period hit last Tuesday and these things knock the shit out of ladies. So, but the important thing is like 70.5 kilos put on by actually planning a phase rather than just going off the cuff where she may have got 7.5 kilo jump. So those extra 10 kilos was because we'd actually prepped her central nervous system. So when you do this kind of stuff, make sure that you're actually preparing your body. And if you want to do a peaking phase, speak to your coach and ask because yeah, it doesn't take that much planning to rearrange a peaking phase. But if you have 4 or 5 competitions on, no, don't expect the fucking plan to change. Because the plan is to fucking get you ready for those competitions. And this is something that some of you need to be aware of when you are prepping for comps, is when you start prepping for comps, you are sacrificing whatever else is on the table. So if there's no 1 rep max in there, no, you're not going to be testing 1 rep maxes because there's no fucking carryover to the competition that you need. We like when prepping for competitions, we prep for the competition. We don't prep for anything else. Like our main focus is making sure you're ready for that comp. Because if it's a 4 reps event, sweet FA point, you pulling a single rep at 300 if it is, reps at 270 because it's not going to help. It's not going to help. Like you need to be able to for the work capacity of 75 seconds of pulling 270 kilos. And what was that? It was 6 or 7 reps. You got that if I remember correctly, wasn't it?
What the deadlift on the comp
Yeah,
day? Nah, it was five, I
it was
think.
four or five.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 because we had planned for 3 to 5. That was the
Yeah.
plan, and we did
Uh-huh.
hit the
Yeah.
upper end of that limit.
Yeah, so exactly like yeah, so sorry. I th For some reason I think it was one of the other maybe it was that competition where you were at with 250 you hit 6 or 7 the previous
Yeah,
competition.
yeah, I think you're right.
Uh-huh. So but yeah, in that situation, like when it comes to comp prep is comp prep and it needs to be planned for. So if you have comps running, don't expect 1 rep maxes. If you have comps going, for the love of God, don't fucking go off plan and go randomly testing things because the best situation you can get is you get it and then you have a mildly annoyed coach. The worst situation is you get injured and then you fuck that competition. And it's so easy when your body isn't prepped to generate an injury because your body isn't ready for heavy loads. And because it's not ready for those maximal loads, the risk of injury skyrockets. So if you are going to go feral, speak to your coach, plan it, or at least do something. Like if you want to go feral, do a 10 rep max log. Then go feral on that. It's like eating a fucking tree of broccoli. You'll never fucking complain about being hungry again if I stick a full tree of broccoli in front of you, dry, raw, and go eat the entire thing. Go do like a 10 rep log PB, and then
All
you
floor to
can
overhead as well.
yeah, all floor to overhead, come standard. So go do that, and then you won't complain about feeling weak ever again because you'll be absolutely fucked for like 6 weeks afterwards. Hey, but if you can do that 10 reps in 75 seconds, congratulations. That next competition with a log overhead, you're going to fucking dominate.
So true, so true.
Awesome. So we will wrap the podcast up here. Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you could like, comment, and share the video, that would be great. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to either me or myself or Chris on Yield Instagram, and we'll get
Or
back to you.
even, or even if you've got any topics that you
Yeah,
think we should discuss as well, reach out to us. We want
yeah,
to
cool.
hear from you
Yeah,
guys as well.
topic stuff would be quite interesting. So what I'm thinking about, so a little bit of after point here for anyone who's still around this point. I want to run 2 more podcasts to make sure that we are on the ball, which I think we are, to be perfectly honest. And then we're going to maybe do a we sort of let the let the let the crowd, let the crew choose our events, our
Hmm.
topics. So we will put up some polls and some questions, and you will get to be able to choose the topics that we're going to talk about, and we're going to do that, and we might also do a Q&A one at some point in the near future as well.
Unless your name's Craig Donald, do not get involved
Yeah,
in that because you
yeah,
have some
basically.
weird and wonderful ideas
Yeah,
that would
yeah,
either get us cancelled or
yeah,
banned or
yeah, and
arrested.
then yeah, probably all of them combined at the same time. Awesome. Right. So thank you very much again. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want any topics to be talked about, stick them in the comments below. We'll get to them. I do read all the comments. I will reply to as many of them as I can. If you're interested in coaching with me, and we've got to plug this at the end because we're still here, drop me a message on social media and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I usually get back to you within the day and we'll arrange a video chat where we get to waffle like this and we talk through your goals. And then I start planning to make those dreams come true. And we will catch you all later. Ciao for now.
Thank you.